Sitting tall, just allowing your inhales and your exhales to get a little bit longer. A little bit more specific. Shoulder blades away from your earlobes. Sitting tall. I'm just noticing what you notice here. Noticing what feels good. Gently seeing if you can grow a little bit taller, reach the crown of your head a little bit higher. Let your shoulder blades fall down your ears a little bit more. Really filling your lungs up with breath. And allowing any thoughts or any feelings to kind of come up and then let them pass. Just paying attention and letting them pass. A couple more breaths too. And from here, start to walk your hands forward. So just walk hands forward. Release your shoulders away from your ears. Reach your butt towards the ground. And just feel a big stretch through your side body. And from here, walk your hands to the right. Dropping your left shoulder towards the ground. Feeling a stretch in your left hip. Side of the left body. Good, coming back to center, other side. Dropping opposite shoulder towards the ground. Feeling a stretch through your obliques, through your side body, driving the hip towards the ground. Coming back to center. Walking your hands up, sitting tall again. And drop your right ear to your right shoulder. So just dropping the ear to the shoulder. Your left hand's just going to walk out to the side. Right hand can be placed on your head. Just increasing the neck stretch if this feels good, and breathe. You're gently releasing your head. And you're going to look towards your knees. You're going to turn your chin so it's going closer to your shoulder. Hands going to come behind your head, gently encouraging your chin closer to your chest, feeling the stretch move from the side of your neck more towards the upper back part of your neck. Coming back to center, we'll switch sides. Opposite ear to opposite shoulder. Taking a second to feel that. And then when you're ready, you'll walk your hand out, increase the stretch, and then if you want to take your same side hand on your head, you can do that. Releasing that, go ahead and bring your chin towards your shoulder. Hand behind your head, encourage the chin towards the chest more. Good, gently releasing that, just rocking the head side to side. Good, walking your hands forward. Let's come into a tabletop position. Shoulders, elbows, wrists in one line. Hips and knees in one line. We'll do a couple cat-cow. So when you're ready, inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your chin, cow pose. Exhaling, pushing the ground away, big giant arch in the spine for cat. Inhaling, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale for cat. Two more, just like this. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. One more, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat pose. Finding a flat back here, tucking your toes, lift your knees off the mat, just 1 inch, start to stoke a little fire in the core. Belly button in, just floating and hovering your tabletop. Pushing the ground away, pulling your low belly in, hold here, breathe for 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. Good, knees on the mat, take them nice and wide, untuck the toes, wide knee, child's pose, getting into the hips. Hips to heels, forehead to the mat, breathe here, shoulders away from your ears. Big side body stretch. Then from here, we're going to make our way to downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift your hips up and back. If you want to measure out your down dog, come into a plank first, and then just lift the hips up and back. You can do that. But just pedaling out the legs, seeing what this plank pose feels like. Fingers spread wide. Actively driving the heels to the ground, actively lifting your booty towards the back corner of the room, getting the shoulders away from your ears, and breathe. Big, deep breaths. And from here, slowly step to the top of your mat, Uttanasana, forward fold. Just ragdolling forward, grasping opposite elbow. Swaying side to side if that feels good. Just notice, feeling the back part of your body open up. Inhale, flat back, long spine, belly in, reach the crown of the head forward. Exhale, forward fold. One more, crown of the head reaches forward, belly in. Exhale, forward fold. Reverse swan dive. Inhale, arms reach to the ceiling. Hands come to heart, close your eyes. Samastitihi, shoulders away from your ears. Eyes closed, hands in prayer pose in front of you. Pressing your hands together, pulling your belly button in, and breathe. Inhale, reach to the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, long spine, belly in. Exhale, step back to plank pose, top of a push-up, hold plank. Fingers are spread wide, shoulders and elbows in about the same line, pushing the ground away, pushing through the inner edges of your hands, belly in, hold here. Hold here. Good, we're going to take knees, chest, chin. So you're going to gently drop to your knees. Bend your elbows towards your knees, bringing your chest and your chin to the ground so your booty stays high in the air. Yep, good. Feeling a stretch through the low back. Belly button gently pulls in. And then you're just going to slither onto your stomach. Untucking the toes, just shimmy side to side. Go ahead and bring your thumbs to either side of your chest. Untuck the toes. Pushing through the tops of your feet so much your kneecaps lift, shoulders roll away from your ears, long spine. So instead of looking all the way up, think just looking gently in front of you. Pull your belly button in. Breathe. It's our first back bend. Chest to the mat, tuck your toes, push the ground away, come straight up to plank pose. And then you'll lift your hips up, downward facing dog, pedal out the legs, wiggle around, see what's up. Just starting to get some flow going, just starting to move a little bit. At the end of your next exhale, slowly step to the top of your mat, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, long spine, belly in. Exhale, forward fold. Reverse swan dive, inhale, arms reach to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, belly in. Exhale, step back to plank, top of the push-up, hold plank. Hold plank, bring your feet wide, pull your belly button in, and your right hand here is just gonna tap your left shoulder, and then your left to right. Right to left. As slow and controlled as you can, trying to move your hips as little as possible. Trying to make sure they don't lift super high up, staying in plank pose. Here for 5. Here for 4. Here for 3. Here for 2. Good, shift to the tips of your toes, bring your feet a little closer together. Slowly lower all the way down to the mat, hug your elbows in. Cobra pose, pull your shoulders away from your ears, hug your elbows towards each other. Push through the tops of your feet, maybe you're a little higher in this Cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Chest to the mat, tuck your toes, push yourself straight up to plank, lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Take a couple more, just really simple, Surya Namaskar A. At the end of your next exhale, step to the top of your mat, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, long spine, belly in. Exhale, forward fold. Reverse swan dive, Urdhva Hastasana, arms reach to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, long spine, belly in. Exhale, step back to plank pose, top of a push-up. Core tights. Shifting to the tips of your toes, slowly lower down, Chaturanga, pause at 90. Option to take a cobra, or if you feel warm enough for upward facing dog, you'll straighten your arms, roll your shoulders away from your ears, push to the tops of your feet, big open chest. Pulling your belly button in so much your hips lift up and back for downward facing dog. Pedaling out your legs, wiggling around, seeing what's up. At the end of your next exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat, forward folds. Inhale, flat back, long spine, belly in. Exhale, forward folds. Let's do one more like that. Urdhva Hastasana, arms reach to the sky. Swan dive, forward folds. Inhale, flat back, long spine, belly in. Exhale, step back to plank pose. Right away, slowly lower down, Chaturanga. Taking cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs here. At the end of your next exhale, step or hop to the top of your mat. Heel toe your feet so the toes are touching. Heels are just an inch apart. You can take a big bend in your knees. Rest your torso on your thighs. Reach the shift the weight to the heels of your feet. Utkatasana, chair pose. Shoulders away from the ears. Squeezing your legs in towards each other. Trying to maintain a neutral spine. So you don't want a huge arch in the spine, but you also don't want your butt tucked underneath you too much. Lifting your chest up. Weights in the heels, squeeze your legs together, wiggle all 10 of your toes. Pull your belly button in. Maybe you sink 1 inch deeper in chair. Good, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Stepping back, chaturanga. Plank pose, slowly lower chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up. Step the right foot in between your hands. You're in a low lunge here. So let's just pause in this low lunge. Right knee is in line with the right ankle. Tuck the booty underneath you. Pull your belly button in. And you're just going to sink your hips down slightly. Feel a stretch through the front part of the hip. Good. Good. And just a couple times here, you're going to start to straighten the right leg. It may not straighten all the way, and then you'll bend it again. Straightening the right leg and bending. Just starting to bring some blood flow into that leg. On the third or fourth one, you'll straighten. We're taking a super wide Parsvottanasana, super wide pyramid pose. Start to forward fold over this right leg. Breathe. If there's a slight bend in it, all good, ain't nothing. Bringing a bend back to that knee, so we're back in the low lunge. Hands will walk right in front of you, coming into standing splits. So kicking off of your left leg, starting to balance on the right leg. Inwardly rotate the left foot. Push the ground away, hold here, breathe. And from here, we'll start to bring the left heel towards the ceiling, just for a little pulse, just starting to wake up the glutes. Heel to ceiling, squeeze the glutes, squeeze, good, squeeze, squeeze, belly in, heel to ceiling, Good, listen carefully. You're gonna bring the pinky toe side of your left foot to the outside, the pinky toe side of your right foot. So your pinky toes are close together. Your right leg is crossed on top of the left. Just try to square your hips as best you can, so that right hip's probably gonna wanna come back. Inhale, create a little length in the spine. Exhale, taking a forward fold here, hopefully feeling a stretch in the outside of your left glutes. Breathe. Uncrossing the feet. Bring your heels as wide as your mat. Heels in, toes out. We're sinking low into Malasana. This is our first kind of hip opener, so just be easy with yourself. Elbows on the inside of your knees. Thumbs to sternum. Close your eyes. Feel that stretch. Breathe. Finding a little lightness, a little brevity in this Malasana. Good, reaching forward. Slowly you're going to push through the heels, come to stand all the way up. Squeeze the glutes at the top, core tight, slowly lower all the way down back to Malasana. So essentially we're just doing a very, very slow version of a squat. Keep the weight in your heels, stand all the way up. Control, push your knees to the pinky toes. Slowly lower and breathe. Push through the heels, lift it up. Slowly lower, core tight, chest open. Push through the heels, stand tall. One more, we land in Malasana. Booty down. Hold in Malasana. Thumbs to sternum. Hands on the mat, step back or hop back, chaturanga. Take the cobra or up dog, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale back. Downward facing dog, pedal out the legs, wiggle around, see what's up. Inhale, left leg up. Step the left foot in between your hands, low lunge here. So snuggle that right foot back, hug the left hip back. Sink down, feel the stretch in your your right hip flexors here. Low lunge, breathe. Couple breaths. Nice and slow, we start to step the back foot in just like 1 inch, but you're going to start to bend and straighten the left leg. Just bring in a little blood flow there. After the third or fourth bend, go ahead and keep that leg straight. Breathe. Feeling the stretch in the hamstrings, tuck the left glutes underneath you. Breathe. Good. Good. Walking hands in front of that left leg. Kick off of your right leg. We're coming into standing splits. Drop your right hip down. Right pinky toe faces the floor. Breathe. Pushing the ground away slightly with the left foot. Breathe. Right heel to ceiling, start to pulse it up. Heel to ceiling. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your glutes. Good. Five. 4. Here for 3. 2. Good, crossing that right leg behind the left. Pinky toes come to touch. Maybe create a little space, a little flat back, and then we take a forward fold. Hugging the left hip back so the hips square off as best you can. Hopefully feeling a stretch to the outside of your right glutes. Breathe here. Just noticing what you notice. Uncrossing the feet, bring your feet as wide as your mat. Heels in, toes out. We're sinking back into Malasana, yogi squat. Elbows on the inside of your knees, thumbs to sternum. Sitting tall, core tight. And let's reach the arms forward, nice and slow. We'll take these squats. Come stand all the way up, squeeze your glutes. Control as best you can, long line of energy to the ceiling. Staying tall, weights in the heels, sink all the way down. Then you'll push through the heels, stand all the way up. We'll do 4 more, just like this, slowly lowering all the way down. Standing back up. 3 more, slowly lower all the way down. And we're back up. 2 more. 2. And all the way up. Last one, all the way down, hold Malasana. Thumbs to sternum, let's take a twist. Right hand in front of your right foot. Reach your left arm towards the ceiling. Option to stay like this. If you have a bind in your practice and your shoulders feel open enough, you can take a bind just opening up. Make sure that left knee doesn't collapse in. You want the left knee to come out. Let me show you from here. Chest stays open. Yep, good, breathe. Coming back to center, switch sides. Opposite hand in front of opposite leg, opening up the chest, not letting the opposite knee fall in, but pushing it out. Chest stays open. This may be where you stay. Maybe you sweep that top arm behind you to take the binds. Whatever feels best, breathe. Good. Thumbs come back to sternum. Take a forward fold. Parallel the feet. Inhale, flat back, long spine, belly in. Exhale, step back, hop back, move through a vinyasa. We will meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg to the sky. Right knee to nose. Hug it in here. Holding the knee to the nose, you're going to tap the knee on the ground, hug it back in. Tap the knee to the ground, hug it back in. 3 more. Tap the knee to the ground, hug it back in. Tap the knee to the ground, hug it back in. 1 more. Tap the knee to the ground, hug it back in. Step your right foot in between your hands, root to rise, crescent pose. Pinkies move towards each other. Pull your ribs and core in, which will cause you to bend your back knee, which is perfect. Tuck the booty underneath you, breathe. Thumbs come to sternum. We're taking a twist here, so you're going to bring your left tricep to the outside of your right thigh, twisting your crescent pose. Tucking the butt underneath you, create length through the spine. Opening up, warrior two. So opening all the way up, spin your back heel down. Arms reaching to opposite directions, gazing over your front middle finger. Tuck your right glute underneath you. Make sure your right knee and your right ankle is in one line. Pushing to the pinky toe side of your left foot. Reach into opposite directions. Breathe. Shifting your torso forward, bring your right forearm to your right thigh. Lift your left arm up. Option to stay here. Option to bring your right hand towards the ground. Tuck the butt underneath you. For binding in your practice, maybe you reach your left arm, take a half bind, reach for the inner right thigh with your left arm, keeping your chest open. Breathe. Good. Reach your left arm back towards the ceiling if you're not there already. You're just going to look down, step your back foot in slightly. We're moving into Trikonasana, so you're going to start to straighten the right leg. Right hand will probably just move to your shin to start, so you can really tuck the glute underneath you. Open up your chest even more. And then an option to place your hand on your foot or on the ground and breathe. Go ahead and bend that right knee. Left hand comes down to frame your right foot. You're on the ball of your left foot. So we're back in this low lunge. You're going to push off of your back leg, coming back to standing splits. But we're moving into warrior three here. So thumbs come to sternum. Push the ground away with the right leg. Lift your torso up. So I want you to create space in your right hip. Left leg is straight back behind you. Core is tight, long spine. As best you can, you're going to bring your left knee into your chest for a little bit of a curl, like a crunch, and then you'll straighten your arms and your leg back out. Everything comes in for a little curl, crunch, straighten back out. 3 more, curl, crunch, knee in, back out. 2 more, knee in, and back out. 1 more, knee in. Step it back out. We're coming into crescent pose. All the way back. Arms sweep. Thumbs to sternum. Let's take a twist. Left tricep outside of right knee. Just like we just did. Nice. Breathe. Good. Hands come down to frame your right foot this time. Listen carefully, you're going to come onto the big toe side of your left foot. Right hand's going to plant into the mat. Left arm reaches up. Right leg's going to shoot through. Right leg can be lifted or toe on the ground. Either one. Squeeze your right obliques. Hold for 5. Belly in for 4. 3. 2. Knee to chest. Take a back plank pose. Slowly with control, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, back downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs, wiggle around, sit up. Inhale, left leg up. Left knee to chest, hold here. Left knee's gonna tap the mat, hug it back in. Tap the mat, hug it back in. Tap the mat, hug it back in. 2 more. Tap the mat. Hug it back in. Tap the mat, hug it back in. Step your left foot in between your hands, root to rise, crescent pose. Pulling your pubic bone towards your low ribs, reach your arms up, pull your ribs in, core tight, breathe. Crescent pose. Breathe. Thumbs come to sternum, right tricep to the outside of your right thigh. So twisting, opening up the chest, tuck the glutes underneath you, breathe. Opening up, warrior two. Left foot forward, right foot back, opening your chest. Arms reach into opposite directions. Gazing over your front left middle finger, tuck the left glute underneath you. Breathe. Shifting your torso forward, left forearm to thigh, reach your right arm towards the ceiling, side angle pose. Option to take it deeper, place a left hand on the ground. Right arm can reach up and over or can sweep behind you, reaching for the inside of your left thigh. Chest is opening. Breathe. Good. If you're bound, unbind. Spinning your torso towards the ground, coming on the ball of your left foot. Just touching standing splits here, pushing off of your right leg. Internally rotate that right leg, but then we'll bring our thumbs to our sternum, coming into warrior three. Core stays tight. Dropping the right pinky toe. Right knee will come into your chest, core tight, and then you'll straighten back out. 4 more, knee in, core tight, and back out. 3 more, knee in, and back out. 2 more, in, and out. Last one, knee in. Kick it back out, step all the way back to crescent pose. Sweep arms up. And right away, we'll bring our thumbs to our sternum, take a twist, right tricep outside of left thigh. Opening your chest up. Good, hands come down to frame the left foot. Heel toe that left foot out to the side. We're coming back into Malasana. Heels in, toes out, sinking low in Malasana. Elbows to the inside of your knees. Feet nice and wide, good. Reaching your arms forward, we're just gently gonna sit on the butt. Legs are gonna straighten in front. On the ground, you're gonna just pitch back so that you feel your core engaged, right? So core is gonna be engaged. Chest is still open, so we're not rounding the spine. Chest is nice and long. We're leaning back, core is tight, tiny pulse. It's like there's a string attached to your sternum, and it's lifting you up, engaging your core. Breathe. Breathe. Good. Core tight. Yep. Yep. Good. 5. 4. It's a tiny movement, but it's a specific one for the core. 2. Good. On your back, hug your knees into your chest. You're going to reach your left arm across your body, and your left leg is going to straighten. So it's like you're in a bicycle that's been frozen in time. And then you're going to pulse left arm like you're reaching for something. Tiny pulse. Like you're reaching, core tight. Go. 5. 4. 3. 2. Switch sides, bend the left knee, straighten the right leg, right arm across the body. Pulse other side, pulse, 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 pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good, hug knees into your chest, start to rock up and down a couple times. On the 3rd or 4th rock, you pop up into standing. We will meet in chair pose. Maybe you use your hands, all good, weights in the heels. Pull your belly button in. We got one more standing sequence. Shoulders away from your ears. Core is tight. Good, we worked on this transition last week. We're going to work on it again. Thumbs to sternum. Left tricep to the outside of your right thigh. Open your chest up. Look down, place the weight in your right foot. You're going to slowly, with control, kick that left leg back behind you. Catch a little air time. And then we'll land back in that twisted crescent. As light as you can. Nice, good. Twisting over the front leg, so left tricep to the outside of your right thigh. Good. Yeah, flip around. Yep, got it. There you go. Tuck the booty underneath you. Breathe. Opening up, warrior two. Spin that back heel down. Big bend in the right leg. Reaching your right arm forward. Tuck the booty underneath you. Flip your left palm up. Think up and back. Reverse the warrior. Long line of energy. Good. Coming back to center. Straighten that front leg. Heels in. Toes out. Goddess squat. Get low. Hands on your thighs, drop your right shoulder, look over your left. And then you'll switch sides, looking over your right. Coming back to center, lift your chest up, goal post the arms, and you're gonna lift your left heel off of the mat. And then you'll lift your right heel off of the mat. And we'll just alternate, left, right. Can you sink 1 inch deeper as you do this? Left, right, left, right. Good. For 5. Chest open. For 4. For 3. For 2. Good. Lift both heels up. Sink 1 inch deeper. Hold here. Breathe. For 5. For 4. For 3. For 2. Straighten your legs, parallel your feet. Just touch a wide leg forward fold. Feeling the stretch in the glutes, inner thighs. Walking your hands back to center. Step back to plank pose. We'll take 5 chaturanga push-ups before we hit down dog. Elbows in, coming straight down, straight up. You got 5. Option to take it from your knees always. And then we meet in down dog. Pedaling out the legs. At the end of your next exhale, step, hop, or float to the top of your mat. Heel toe feet together, toes touch, heels just 1 inch apart. Big bend in the knees, we're back in chair pose. Pull your belly button in, shoulders away from your ears. Squeeze your legs in towards each other. Thumbs to sternum. Taking that same twist, right tricep outside of left thigh. Hug the right hip back. Look down, you're gonna bring the weight into your left foot, right leg lifts up. Catch a little air time. And then you'll step that foot all the way back. Twisted crescent. Opening up, warrior two, chest spins open. Big bend in the left knee. Left knee's in line with your left ankle. Flip your left palm up. Reverse the warrior. Long stretch to the side body. And back to warrior two. Straighten that leg. Heels in, toes out. We're coming back to goddess pose. Get low right away. Lift the heels right away. We just cut tiny little pulses. Pulse, pulse. Long spine, core tight. Option to keep the heels down if that serves you better. Long spine. Belly in. We're here for 5. Here 4. 3. 2. Get low, stay low. Breathe. Can you sink 1 inch deeper? Breathe. One more big breath, inhale. Good, exhale, straighten your legs, parallel your feet. Wide leg forward fold, just shifting the hips this time side to side. Just give them a little shift side to side. Good, you're gonna bring your heels in slightly, toes out. Bring your feet a little closer together. We're coming in back into Malasana, our final Malasana. Elbows in, chest open, breathe. As gently as you can, sit on your butt. Boop. Spin around so that you're like the long way on your mat. This time knees are gonna be bent, arms are gonna straight, core tight, and slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Lower back hits middle back, then upper back, then you'll sit all the way back, up, rolling all the way back, up, big, open chest. When you're ready, slowly lower all the way back, down. And back, up. Taking about 10 here. Control is the name of this game. So I'm more interested in control than I am anything else. Trying to keep your heels on the ground. If sitting all the way up doesn't work for you, just take tiny little crunches. That's totally fine. Give me 5 more-ish. The next time you lay all the way on the ground, keep your knees bent but stay there. Then you'll lift your shoulders off of the mat, chest still open, hands together like you're clapping outside of left knee. Pulse it up, core tight, pulse it up. Here for 5, here for 4, here for 3, here for 2, other side, outside, twist, outside. Good, belly in. Here for 5, here for 4, here for 3, here for 2. Good, legs on the ground, reach your arms all the way up over your head. Good, hug the knees into your chest, rock yourself up to a seat, swing your legs around. We'll take a little bit of a back bend, we'll take camel pose. So feel free to fold up your mat if you tend to have really sensitive knees. You're going to tuck your toes underneath you. Now your hips and your knees are in one line. I want this line to stay straight. I don't want this line to become a diagonal line, yeah? So hands behind you, fingertips facing your knees. Lift your chest up just like we've done all class. We're just gonna take a little back one. We've got 3 camels coming in, so this does not have to be the deepest expression of camel today for this one. Just get a little bit of back bend. It's like you're back bending over a big beach ball. Hips stay forward, good, beautiful. Go ahead and untuck your toes. Sit your hips on your heels, right palm face up, back of left palm on top of it. Press your thumbs together, close your eyes. We'll do 2 more like that, but let's just take a couple breaths here. Go ahead and lift your hips, tuck your toes, hands underneath your low back, fingers point to your butt. Hip shift forward, think up and over, camel pose. You've got a little space, you want to reach for your heels. You can certainly do that. Just make sure your hips stay forward, right? They don't fall back. Big, open chest. If it feels good to release your head back and stretch your throat, you can do that. Chest comes up, untuck the toes. Left palm faces up, right palm in it, thumbs to touch, close your eyes and breathe. Good, once more like that. If you want to tuck your toes, great. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can keep your toes untucked. Fingertips point to the glutes. Lift your chest up, hips stay forward. Final Ustrasana, camel pose. If you want to reach for your heels, you can. Just try to keep those hips forward. Breathe. Coming back to center. So this time you're going to bring your knees together and your feet are going to come apart. We're going to give the front parts of the legs a stretch. So you're going to untuck the toes, Move the calves out of the way. You're gonna sit your butt in between your heels. Now, if this really, really hurts your knees, sit on something. Sit on a pillow, sit on a block, sit on a book, something. I want a nice stretch through the knees and the front part of the legs, but I do not want like sharp shooting, oh my God, my legs might fall apart, pain. And once you're here, you can stay here if this feels deep enough. If you wanna start to walk your hands back, you can come onto your forearms. Some people like to lay flat on their back. I do not, that hurts me, so I don't do it. But it might feel great for you because your body and my body are different. So just choose it. Couple breaths here. Again, you can release your head back if you want for a little bit of a throat and neck stretch. But you don't have to if that doesn't feel good. Good, walking yourself up out of this. Slowly, slowly, slowly start to walk yourself forward. We'll come back to tabletop position. Let's just take a couple breaths. Straightening the right leg out, shifting forward and back. Maybe left leg, straighten it out, forward and back. Continuing to stretch the outer hips. Let's swing the legs around. We're going to sit on our butt. We're going to do double pigeon. So this one's a little bit complicated, but you got it. So you're gonna bend your right knee, place your right ankle above your left knee, and then you're gonna bend your left knee, and as best you can, you're gonna stack your shins on top of each other. Yeah, good. So what I want you to focus on is the top foot hanging off of this leg. So we don't want it in here, we want it out here. Yep, exactly. And that might bring the knee up a little bit, and that's okay. It can hang out up a little bit. If you can bring it towards the ankle, great. Bottom leg is in line with the top leg. So bottom leg isn't underneath you. It's directly in line. Now hopefully you're feeling a stretch in the outside of your right hip. Great. So just sit tall, couple breaths here. You can close your eyes if you want. You don't have to, but we're literally just hanging out here. If you tend to have more space in your hips, you can always walk your hands out, but whatever feels best. Couple breaths here, opening up the outside of your hips. Beautiful, breathe. Good. Walking your hands back up, switch sides. So take a second, shimmy, shimmy, shimmy the legs out. And then opposite ankle over opposite knee. Bending the bottom knee as best you can, stacking your shins on top of each other. Top foot's outside of the knee, yep. Bottom leg's in line with that. Notice the difference between sides, right? See how this side feels? Good. And then if it feels good to walk your hands out, great. If it doesn't, don't do it, right? It doesn't have to be the same thing you did on the other side either. Just breathe. Good, so to walk your hands back up. Taking the soles of your feet together, knees apart. Take a second, you're gonna wiggle out those legs first. I know that's a big stretch. And then soles of the feet together, knees apart. Sit tall, grab your ankles, bringing your chest towards your feet. Maybe using your elbows to encourage your knees out. Breathe. Good. Slowly roll up. Bring those knees together. Come to lie on your back. From here, let's take a happy baby. Soles of feet towards the ceiling. Arms on the inside of your legs. Outsides of your feet. From here, go ahead and straighten your left leg on the mat. Hug your right knee into your chest. Maybe scoot your hips to the right. Let your right knee fall across your straight left leg. Spinal twist. Looking over your right shoulder if that feels good. Good. Bring a knee back to center. Switch sides. Right leg straight and scoot your hips to the left. Hug your left knee in. Let your left knee fall across your body. Looking over your left shoulder if that feels good. Bring that knee back to center. Start to make your way into your version of today's Shavasana. Straightening your legs, letting your feet flap open, your eyes fall closed, your palms face up. Taking up as much space as you would like. Alternatively, you can place your hands on your belly or one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Close your eyes with the knowledge that for the next few minutes you have nowhere to be and you have nothing to do but breathe, corpse pose. Gently start to find some small movements. Bringing your awareness back. Gently making your way to a comfortable seat. Getting there however you get there. Eyes closed. Sitting tall. Palms can be face up on your knees to receive energy. Palms face down for a bit more grounding. Crown of the head reaching towards the ceiling. And let's take one breath together. So first, exhale all of your air out, empty lungs. Big, deep inhale. Hold the top and enjoy this one moment of stillness. And exhale. Hands together in front of your heart. Take this moment to be grateful for your health, for your strong mind and body that allows you to practice, and for everything you have and everything you don't have. Namaste.